Good afternoon, folks. I'm Dave Thompson. I'm the Educational Director for the Academy of Cleaning Excellence and President of the Green Clean Institute. If you're striving to be progressive, looking for knowledge about all things that are positive and advancing healthy best practices, you know what? You found the right show today. This afternoon, my guest speaker's topic is going to focus on just one small area of the building, the one which most of us really understand takes up a lot of our chemical budget and also our facility maintenance department's budget. It's just one small area that takes up a whole lot of space. Anyway, come on back after this message and we'll learn more about what he has to say.
Live from Orlando, Florida, and the ACE Learning Center at Gym Supply, it's Beyond Clean with Dave, a weekly broadcast for professionals in environmental health services around the world. Your host is David Thompson, Director of Education for Gym Supply, and his mantra is, I am a janitor and I save lives. And now let's listen to Beyond Clean with Dave and today's guest at the ACE Learning Center in sunny downtown Orlando.
Now, before I get started with today's show, I wanted to actually reach out and say thank you to the team that makes this possible. You know, without the team of the people behind the camera, you wouldn't see me on the front of the camera. Anyway, I want to say thank you to my whole team. It's an unsung job that they do for me every week. Anyway, there's three words in which I focus on each and every Friday afternoon. You've heard those words before, but I'll say them again. Healthy, positive, and proactive. Now, before I get on with the show, over on that right-hand side of your YouTube video that you're watching, there's a live chat. We really would like to have your questions, and we'll try to get to the answers there. Just give me a shout all the way through the show. I want to ask a question. Did you know that 80% of a technician's time is spent taking care of just the floor surface? Well, this afternoon, that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about how to protect this large investment of what I said was a small area, but it's really not that small. It's that hard floor surface, and you know there's finishes on these surfaces, and we've got to maintain those. This afternoon, Bret Bushey is going to join me, and I think he's live with us right now. Bret, are you there?
I'm here, Dave.
Well, where are you calling in from today? You know, I forgot to ask you that earlier. You know, we all move around so much.
You're in beautiful Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Kenosha, Wisconsin. I'll bet you it's not 90 degrees.
We're getting there. I think we're into the 50s, so we'll take it.
All right. So tell the audience who you are, and you know, I did say we travel, so tell them a little bit about how you travel around and how did you come about protecting floor surfaces?
Okay, so as we said, I'm Bret Bushey. I'm Vice President of Sales for Expanded Technologies, and Expanded Technologies manufactures the widest variety and most durable floor protectors available today. You know, one of the greatest parts of my job is I get to travel across the country and look at damage that's being caused by furniture to floor surfaces, and then assess the damage and recommend a specific product that's going to prevent that from happening in the future.
Okay, so that's what you do today, but you know, I'm always curious, how did you get into this? I mean, you know, I'm sure that you didn't go to college and say, hey, I'm going to go out and protect floors.
Oh, come on, everybody, that's first in their mind, right?
Yeah, just like I went to college and said, I'm going to be a janitor all my life, right?
Yeah, exactly. So how we got started was my father, over 40 years ago, was renovating a turn-of-the-century schoolhouse for our family. And
cool. Once
he got it completed, he realized that the chairs that were on the original pine floors were causing damage, were scratching, and the furniture was causing damage to the floors. And so he went out and tried to look for a solution to prevent the damage from happening, but it wasn't there. So he took some felt and some double-sided adhesive, put the two together into a sandwich, cut the product out to fit the shape of the legs, and then stuck them to their chair legs.
And floor savers were born.
Yeah, it's exactly right. They completely took away the damage, and you know, totally saved the floors, if you will. So he always kept that in the back of his mind that if he had that problem, many other people were going to have the problem.
And you know what, that problem still exists today. So he found a solution then, and we're still talking about that same solution. Now you've upgraded it, you've changed it, And we've actually shown some pictures here of the different, I don't know, the different types of them, because, it's a big market. There's a lot of competitors doing this.
There is a lot of competitors, but we were the very first. And we like to think that we're the very best. But so there's many different types of floor protectors that are available on the market. Mainly, one is designed for carpet surfaces, and then the other is designed for hard floor surfaces. For carpet, you would use a slider. It's basically a polymer disc that's extremely slippery that can be attached to your furniture leg either by adhesive, so you peel and stick it on, or a nail, or we even developed a new product that has a clear sleeve that slides over the chair leg. Once you install a slider onto the furniture, it allows the chair or couch or whatever it might be to move extremely easy, which actually reduces wear patterns in the carpet and reduces stress on the furniture joints, which extends the life of carpet and extends the life of the furniture.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because you're not only talking about extending the life of the carpet, which is damaged by the end of the chair, but this puts stress on the joints, and this is where, at least I'm thinking about, like wooden chairs, those joints on those come loose, because a lot of those are just glued together.
Absolutely right. So the more stress you put on them, the looser they get, and they actually become dangerous. They can break in use. So by putting a slider on, it's a relatively easy thing to do. You're going to move the chair easier, which is ergonomically is great, because there's less injuries, and you're going to extend the life of the chair as well.
Okay, but your dad and you, the reason that you got into this wasn't for the carpet. That's kind of what happened as a result of understanding all this. So let's talk about how these are made and what do they do on floors, the hard floors that we spend so much of our time maintaining.
So for hard floor surfaces, you would use a felt protector, and there's many different types of protectors available on the market today. There's many different options that are available today on the market. There's the adhesive back pad, which we came out with first, and then there's all different types, including the clear sleeve floor protector, which you would see now. The key to the felt floor protectors is that it provides a soft surface between the floor and the furniture, which lowers noise, reduces scratching, and ultimately lowers maintenance costs.
Okay, so the picture that we showed here of the scratching, can you explain to the audience what this picture is? Because I know, everybody looks at scratching differently.
Hey, Dave, real quick, we actually lost the feed so I'm seeing a blank screen right now.
No, we're still going. Are we still going? Okay, folks, I don't know if we lost you there or not, but we're having little technical difficulties here, but we're up and running again. So, Bret, just kind of explain to us, what are we talking about with this picture of scratching?
On it is completely protected, and it almost looks like it was buffed versus damaged.
Well, so what you're talking about is you're going to lower the maintenance cost if you don't have these scratches to have to take care of. Then we don't have all of the labor and all the chemicals and equipment to go in there and take care of the scratching, right?
You're absolutely right. You're extending the life of your floor finish, you're keeping the facility looking good, and you're reducing maintenance costs. The other cool thing about floor protectors is they actually quiet down rooms or reduce noise. Have you ever been in a restaurant where you slide a piece of furniture out and it's extremely loud and distracting?
No, that didn't happen to me. Like just last week, I was at a restaurant. It was all terrazzo floor. They moved the middle chair. It was like nails on a chalkboard. Everybody stopped eating and looked to see who the heck did that.
You're exactly right. So, and then you end up having to talk over the person next to you. You know, it just creates a loud environment. By
Right.
installing a protector onto the furniture, you provide that felt barrier which reduces the noise. You lower that moving of the furniture. You're able to talk in a normal tone, enjoy your meal, and create a better dining experience.
Well, and that's true, because it's not, and I don't think we're just talking about restaurants. We're just talking about a public place where you and I have both been and we've experienced that. But this goes on everywhere. This is that noise thing that is, well, as you said, is a side benefit of what you started with.
Let's face it, it could be your house, it could be schools, it can be anywhere. For instance, I had a teacher contact me, or actually, so in schools, like if students are moving their chairs back and forth, and the teacher is having to talk over the students, she's having to raise her voice, which is hard on her vocal cord. The students are distracted by the chairs moving back and forth. It creates a worse learning environment, and teachers actually damage their vocal cords. Speech pathologists actually recommend that classrooms use floor protectors on all of their furniture.
Well, and I think this is where we talked before. My wife used to work with a special ed department, and I know that any noise for them disrupted the whole learning environment, and so they had to start all over. They lost their place. And I don't think that's just for special ed. It happens in any classroom.
It really does. But speaking of special ed, I visited a school not too long ago where the teacher had contacted us because she had hearing impaired students and other students that had learning disabilities. Both of the students were extremely distracted by the moving chairs, by the moving of the chairs and furniture. So she asked me to come in and see if there was anything we could do to quiet down the room and create a better learning environment. So I came in, we installed floor protectors on all of her furniture, and it dramatically reduced the noise, so much so that she was so happy that she thought that the government should demand that floor protectors are used on all furniture in every classroom.
Well, did you get her to write a letter so that we can all go and help the government mandate that?
I think that's a great idea. She did offer to do a case study, so I'm sure she's up for that.
Hey, I guarantee if you get that done, let me know. I want to be a part of that. Because, here's one of the other things, is that soft felt surface between the chair leg and the floor. When I got here to Orlando and started setting up my education center, I immediately put in 2 different grades of LVT. Now, that for you in the audience, maybe you've not heard of this, is luxury vinyl tile. It is not the vinyl tile that you're used to. It's not the vinyl composition tile. This is a whole different flooring surface, and protection of it is paramount.
It is paramount, and the reason why it is because LVT has a film that goes over the top surface instead of a floor finish that can be replaced. So if you end up scratching the top surface of an LVT floor, you damage the floor forever. You can't just put on another coat of floor finish.
Now, audience, if you're listening to us and you want to have a little bit more information on this, now next month I've got a guy that's coming on, and this is going to be our whole conversation, because the difference between VCT and LVT is dramatic. And I just saw a study from ISSA that says that LVT is taking over the market. And I talked to a gentleman yesterday, said that the Shaw Manufacturing quit making carpet in a couple of their facilities, and they're going completely to making LVT. So you need to know how to protect that. But these protectors, no matter who you're buying them from, they have to be maintained too.
Absolutely right. So if you have your floor protectors, and I would say once or twice a year, so if it's spring break and then summer break, if you just take a microfiber cloth and wipe them off, it's actually going to take off the dirt and the grime and whatever else is on it and actually rejuvenate it, which is almost like putting a brand new protector on. And if it's still a little compressed, you can take a wire brush and just kind of rough it up, and it's like you have a brand new protector on your furniture.
Hey, over the last probably, dozen years or 10, whatever it be, I put a lot of floor protectors on the floor, and you saw that picture with the red floor and the protectors on it. But you know what? You've got to keep those clean. If you're going to extend that time between your scrub and recoats, you've got to maintain these just the same as you maintain any other piece of equipment. It's no good for you if you don't maintain that. Because this is what we're all about, right? Is keeping that facility looking good all year long. So take care of these and it'll do it.
And if you do keep the facility looking good all year long, it's actually going to allow the people that are in your facility to respect it more. And so not only do they respect the floor, but they respect the entire facility and they take care of it. So there's many, many reasons to use floor protectors.
Okay, so you had mentioned a couple of times reducing labor and saving maintenance costs and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think you and I talked about a study that you did, and I kind of want to close our show out today with something that talks to the dollars and cents of this whole thing. Because, I've heard it many times, oh, those things are too expensive. I'm not going to spend $5, $6 a chair to, that. But,
right.
But talk to the audience and tell them about this dollars and cents thing.
Well, so I think the best example would be just to tell you an experience that I had with another school.
Okay.
There was a school that had contacted me. They had installed or built a STEM lab, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. Right. And the way this room worked is they had a bank of computers down each wall, and then a table in the center. So the students would work on the computer, and then they had rolling chairs where they would roll to the center of the room to the table and actually do practical work.
Oh gosh, all of that weight on that little bit of plastic rolling around like that, grinding in all of that sand and cutting up the floor finish.
You're exactly right. And in fact, in 2 months' time, by rolling from the computers to the table, they chewed through 7 coats of floor finish.
Oh, they were chewing into the tile.
They were actually damaging the VCT.
Oh yeah, you know it.
So he had me come in and look at the situation and see if we had anything that could possibly help with the damage that was being caused to their floors. And so I showed him the caster tire floor saver. This floor saver goes over top of the hard plastic casters, and it turns the hard plastic casters into soft floor saving wheels.
Right.
He was so excited about the savings that it made that they ended up installing floor protectors throughout the entire district. And they estimated that over the course of a year that they were saving $6 to $8 a square foot annually in maintenance costs.
Okay, wait a minute. $6 to $8 a square foot. We're not talking just floor finish. We're talking maintenance costs, which would be labor and all the chemicals and everything.
Exactly right. So the scrub and recoats and the time spent in between it, the labor that's caused to do those scrub and recoats, the amount of floor finish that's put down on the floor, all of it combined, they estimate $6 to $8 a square foot. And if you were to look at the cost of what a floor saver does cost a school, and you amortize that in over the course of 3 to 5 years, which is the life expectancy for a high quality floor protector,
yeah,
it literally costs pennies and saves thousands and thousands of dollars.
I think that's the whole thing here, is that people get so stuck on what something's going to cost that they forget about what it's going to save them. And that's really the value of what you're bringing to the market with floor savers. And it doesn't matter whether we're talking hard floors, casters, carpet. We're talking about saving that massive amount of floor space, which is what we do. We take care of 80% of our time is on the floors. So these are small investments for huge paybacks.
Absolutely.
So, you know what? We've taken about 20 minutes of your time, audience, but I think that we might have a few closing remarks. So, Bret, let's close this up.
Well, so what I've been finding, for better health and lower maintenance costs, facilities are removing the hard floor surfaces or removing the carpet surfaces and changing them out to hard floor surfaces. So if I could give any advice, I would say that you should use walk-off mats at every entrance, maintain a facility like it should be, sweep and mop regularly, and most importantly, make that small investment for a good high-quality floor protector and install it on every piece of furniture throughout your facility.
Bret, I really thank you for your time. And folks, as Bret said, it doesn't matter where you get the protector from. Put those on your pieces of furniture, soft floor or hard floor. Now, I didn't really notice any questions on our chat line today. If you do have a question, you've been watching this video and you've just thought about it, put your comments in the comment area, under the video. Bret, thank you for being on the show today. I'll get back with you after the show's over here. Folks,
Thank you very much, Dave.
Folks, if you want to find some ACE button there, click on the live sessions. You're going to find our locations, and you'll find our classes. There's lots of classes. We're adding them all the time. I also have a Facebook page. I know on the page it's got my bald head, but I got it covered up today with my hat, so purple's my thing. Anyway, share and like me if you can. If you need more information, or you want to find out what's coming up on the show for next week or months in advance, or look at some pictures or some other things we have, go to beyondcleanwithdave.com. You'll get all your information there. Now, I've got something new for you. Next Friday, I'm going to be joined by Nellie Loudon. She's here from Jim. She's going to be focusing on how to establish a business. Now, there's a few things that you need to know before you start business. The do's and don'ts during the first year, and establishing partnerships for success. So you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. Nellie's going to be the show host for next week. I'm going to take a back seat. She's going to be talking to our Spanish-speaking audience. And here to tell you more about this new show that's coming up, welcome Nellie to the show.
Dave, thank you for having me on your show. Estoy súper contenta de poder presentarle a ustedes este segmento en el show de Dave, Beyond Clean with Dave, en el cual vamos a estar discutiendo cómo abrir un negocio. Tenemos tantas personas que tienen tantas preguntas sobre este tema, y con nosotros va a estar Katia Medina de la empresa, ella está con, antes se conocía como HBIF y ahora se llama Prospera. Perdona, Katia, que ahí me tengo en la mente HBIF. Pero vamos a estar hablando sobre estos tres temas muy importantes que todas las personas tienen en mente. Y es cómo hacer la planificación de un negocio. Lo segundo es lo que hacemos y no hacemos en el primer año. Y lo tercero va a ser cómo hacer un negocio exitoso. No te lo pierdas. Vamos a tener a Katia con nosotros este próximo junio 2 a la 1 de la tarde, donde vamos a estar hablando sobre estos temas tan interesantes que a todo hispano le interesa cómo hacerlo. Te invitamos aquí, junio 2 a las 1 de la tarde, aquí en el show de Beyond Clean con Dave. Y con ustedes ahora, Dave.
Well, Nellie, thank you for that. I guarantee it's going to be a different show than what we've had before. As you can tell, it's for our Spanish-speaking audience. So, well, I guess that's my show for today. So until next Friday afternoon at 1 p.m., live right here from Orlando, I'm Dave Thompson. Keep changing your future. Keep those changes healthy, positive, and proactive. And remember my mantra, I'm a janitor and I save lives. Thanks for watching today.
You have been listening to Beyond Clean with Dave and his guest. Sharing what you learn with others is what turns knowledge into professional development. Live classes are hosted each week at one or more of our 4 locations in Central Florida. Remember, janitors save lives. Be sure to put us on your schedule to watch next week as we present another broadcast of Beyond Clean with Dave.